Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your stock watch list for the 12th of December, Wednesday. Just showing you a screen share of my room, what members see. Right now, you're looking at my after-hour scans, some charts that we keep up. Throughout the day, I keep my charts up. We also keep the trade exchange news box up throughout the day, and we have audio news that comes through the service throughout the day. So if there's any breaking news, it gets audioed into the room, and I make calls and alerts over the microphone. And we have a really great group of traders in there, and so I just wanted to point that out. So we do screen sharing. We keep our charts up. My trade idea scans are always up. Now I change them throughout the day. Like I said, right now you're looking at my after hours. I do have pre-market scans that I put up in the morning, and I also have intraday scans that I put up. My service opens up at 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time and shuts down at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So just to give you a little flavor of the service there. The other thing I wanted to show you was after the bell tonight around 4:41 p.m., the U.S. Senate votes to adopt conference report on the Farm Bill with a vote of 87 to 13. To put that in simple terms, the bill passes and will now move on to the House. All right, and that coming from at Fox 34. I got that off of Twitter there. So it looks like the Farm Bill will pass, and the importance of this is for the cannabis stocks, for hemp and whatnot. So the cannabis stocks were moving up on that. So I just wanted to push that into the shot for you so you can see that. As far as some news that came out after the bell tonight, courtesy of the trade exchange. So, some news that came out after the bell, TENX announces closing of 10 million underwritten offering. TNXP also announces closing of 15 million on their public offering. MRNS announced a public offering. That stock moving down in the after hours, dilution there on that offering. We had AEO came out with earnings after the bell. American Eagle Outfitters, the stock is moving down in the after hours. Was an earnings per share beat by 1 cent, revenue miss there. And then back to MRNS, they're going to be doing 12 million shares of its common stock for the offering. AEO comparable sales rose about 8%, but yet the stock is fading off in the after hours tonight. Dave and Buster's play earnings per share beat by 8 cents and a revenue beat on PLAY, but that stock selling off in the after hours on Dave and Buster's. Uh, First Solar 2019 financial guidance. So they're putting out some of their guidance on First Solar. That came out after the bell. The stock jumped up a bit on that. You're looking at a 5-minute chart, after hours chart. So the stock jumped up but pulled right back on that information. Neo came out with a secondary offering for Neo. Not much reaction. I guess it's kind of ticking down here on NEO. GKOS had some news after the bell here. GKOS, not much reaction to it in the after hours. MVIS announces the closing of 4.2 million on the offering on their stock. MVIS, not much reaction to that in the after hours thus far. A software company, PVTL, earnings per share beat by 3 cents, revenue beat, guides a revenue above consensus, PVTL, and that stock holding up in the after hours. Now it was trading up above 19. They pulled it back down to about 1850 on PVTL, but this will definitely be one that I'm watching for tomorrow, as it had earnings per share beat, guides revenue above consensus. So you would think this one should make a move tomorrow. So I'll be watching that one early in the morning. Jeffrey Gunlock, breadth of decline in global equity market is pretty powerful. So that coming out from Jeffrey Gunlock. Usually when he talks, he gets a market reaction. ANGI, Angie Home Services, announces secondary offering of Class A common stock. So ANGI, that stock selling off in the after hours. So quite a few offerings tonight after the bell. The crude oil numbers came out, the API data, and it was a draw of 10.2 million on the API. So let's check out the USO, which is the ETF for the WTI. It did pop up when those numbers came out. Not much follow through though after that, kind of just ticking sideways in the after hours. So that's your API crude numbers that came out after the bell. We got a LAND with an offering, common stock offering, MNTA closing public offering of common stock on MNTA. Whoops, sorry, MNTA. Really no reaction to that. After the bell, we had some top insider purchase come out after the bell. We had HOME. The CFO purchased just under 5,000 shares on HOME. We also had CODI had an insider purchase. CODI, not much reaction. Run with a insider purchase here. After the bell tonight, 118,000 shares at 13.88 stock, currently trading in the after hours at $14.13. So, by the way, Kramer came out and he was talking about CGC. He says this one is best of breed CGC. So he actually moved the stock in after hours on CGC. Nice move up here in the after hours on that one. He was comparing it to Cronus Group, and he said that CGC was best of breed. So that's what's moving CG up in the after hours. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers on the close here today. So we had the NASDAQ composite. We were up 11 there. The other markets were down. We had the Dow Jones down 53 points. The transports were down another 46 points. The S&P 500 was down fractionally. So those were down. Back to the upside. We had oil, light sweet crude oil, close at 51.65. So it was up 65 cents for the day. KWEB, the ETF for China Internet ETF, was up a little bit today on KWEB. That contains Baba, Baidu, and some of the China Internet names. The Qs were up about 54 cents. The MJ, the marijuana ETF, up about 48 cents. The semis were up 45 cents for the day. The IBB was up fractionally for the day. And let's see if there was anything else. JNUG was up today almost 2% on JNUG, so a nice move there in some of the junior miners. Let's go ahead and look at some of the market action today. We'll go ahead and look at the SPY on an intraday chart. This is a 5-minute chart that you're looking at. So pre-market today, they were pushing us up. There was some good positive news came out on the trade talk and some tariffs being reduced by China on U.S. autos, and that's what kind of drove us up. And then we got up to about that 268 area on the SPY. Now we had come from about 258.50, so almost a $10 from the lows here up to the highs of today. So about a $10 move on the SPY. And then we couldn't stay above. You see this yellow line here. That's equal to the 5 EMA off my daily chart. So we were banging our head up against that. Finally, we broke down through VWAP and we sold off pretty much most of the gap up today. Then into the close, they brought us back up. We actually were trading Apple as the market was moving up. We got a dollar and change out of Apple on one of our final trades for the day. So the SPY did move up, but down back here in after hours, we grind right back down again. And here we sit in the after hours on the SPY below VWAP, the green line you see on my chart there. So that was the action in the SPY today. If we go ahead and look at the IWM, not much of a bounce at all in the IWM, the small caps. So that's worrisome. The IBB also trying to hold above this 101 area, 100 and 100 area on the IBB. You see the dip buyers showing up there, but not making much progress right now. The Qs themselves holding around that 160 level. Now we did get a continuation move from our bounce, yesterday. So we'll have to see what tomorrow is going to bring. On the Qs, we're still below the 10 SMA here, the light blue moving average on the QQQ. The SMH, which was green, I guess, today, same thing, below the fast moving averages here, below the 10 and the 20 on the SMH. The SPY itself, we'll go back to that. So we got that kind of, I guess, that bottoming tail here on the SPY yesterday. And we got back above 265. We pushed up to about the 5 EMA here. Then they closed us back below it. So some progress being made here by the bulls, but a lot of work to do and still under a lot of the fast moving averages currently on the SPY. So we're going to need some leadership to come out. We're not getting it from the banks at all. The XLF still looking like it wants to break down. You got the XLF moving down. JP Morgan is one of the banks. Citigroup, you can see the ugly daily charts here and the pressure, how heavy they are, and look like they want to break down again. Citigroup and Bank America is another one. Even regional banks, RF, Regions Financial, KRE, which is the ETF for the regional banking, that looks very heavy here at the moment. So that is not a sector to, to lead us right now. The banking sector, they look very weak. Even the home builders are staying on the weak side here. Oil stocks, I'll just show you a couple. Apache, very weak. APC, still very weak. OAS, Schlumberger over there in the oil services sector. Halliburton, the OIH itself, the oil services sector, ETF, all very heavy. So nothing here for the bulls to look for right now in the oil services sector. The XLU was up today, and that's not the sector you want to see moving up, right? The XLU, that's a flight to safety. The XLU, we'll go to our sector performance for today. So the XLU was up just under 0.5%. The XLP, consumer staples, were up just under 1%, and the healthcare stocks, the XLV, were up about 1/3% for the day in that sector. If we look what was down, the XLF was down, the XHB, which is the home builders, the industrials were down today. So very mixed signals there, and the sectors that are moving up are not the sectors that you want to see. These are all flight to defense sectors, right? On the even the REITs were up fractionally today, so not a good sign. We'll see what tomorrow brings. By the way, one of the stocks on my watch list is CORT, a big pop up today. Now, from what I gather, the news on CROT was that the shares surged to close up about 23%, 24%. The spike follows the issuance of a patent to the company related to Cushing's disease. I'm not really sure what Cushing's disease is, but the stock got the issuance of a patent. That's what drove the stock up. The The company derives most of its revenue from Corlium. It's FDA approved product for Cushing's disease. So that was the news on CROT there on that name. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the watch list for tomorrow. So I'm watching the cannabis stocks with the farm bill proceeding on to the House. Kramer mentioning CGC. So I like CGC. I like trading CGC intraday. Crone is another one. CRON. Cronus Group is another one I'll have on watch. Now we did a swing trade in NBEV. And we put our swing trades out on a private Twitter feed. So here was the NBEV swing trade, right? NBEV swing trade over $5.03 with a stop given of $4.45. And then on the feed, I give you the chart of NBEV. So we did real well on this swing trade on the private feed for NBEV. And so that one will be on watch again. Now I have full disclosure, we're still in some of the NBEV, but we did take some off. It popped about 14% on that swing trade, so I did take some off, but we are holding NBEV. It is a very strong daily chart here. Nice volume came in it today, so keep your eye on NBEV on that name. AEO, even though they had earnings and they missed earnings, I'm going to see if there's any type of reversal play on AEO for tomorrow. AMBA has been getting call activity. It got through 40 today. I felt like it was a chase, so I did not chase it up here, but it pushed through 40, moved up to about 40.50. So AMBA will be on watch tomorrow. APHA, another pot stock, not as strong as the other ones that I showed you. APHA, it did get over 6 and hold above 6. That'll be on watch. I'm still going to watch this Aqua, AQUA, trying to turn the corner here. The high today was $10.29. So maybe if this thing can get up over $10.35 or so, we might get a continuation move in Aqua. Volume today, 1.5 million. ATHX looks to be setting up here. Volume was a little under 1 million shares, but it is holding up well. We're below that $2.10 area. You can see my line that's going across here, but it is turning up. ATHX, keep an eye on that one. CMCM, a China stock that had a decent day, trying to turn the corner now. It's coming up to the 20 SMA and kind of pulling back from that. The high on this name was 750 today. Notice how that 0.50 was a resistance spot. So this CMCM will be on watch. Like I said, I read you that news for CORT, so that'll be on watch. Facebook is still maybe an opportunity here. Watching this one for a potential swing trade, actually. All right, on Facebook. First Solar had that news after the bell. They popped it up. They pulled it back. So not as much in love with it as I was when it was moving up. So we'll keep an eye on it, though. First Solar. HIMX maybe trying to put in a bottom here, 4.8 million shares underneath that 350 spot. HIMX, it's a semiconductor name. MBRX, a big pop, got up to about $1.70, also came right smack up to the 200 SMA on MBRX, 6 million shares. We'll see if this one sets up intraday. All right, MBRX, Myos had a good day today, came up to that $2 area, was rejected there, came back down. Big volume in this name. Now they've spiked this up to about $2.50 before, so we'll see if it sets up intraday. I prefer maybe some type of red to green move in that one. NBEV we talked about. NEO, this had a call activity in it in Neo. I'll bring over the Trade Exchange. They mail out this newsletter each night, courtesy of the Trade Exchange. So Neo had a February 10th call activity. I'm sorry, February 10 call activity. So Neo will be on watch tomorrow. MU had unusual call activity. AGNC, GIS, a defensive name, had call activity today. Unusual call activity. NBR and DLPH. To the put side, we had ASNA, EXTR, AKS, ATVI, BBBY, UA, and CLDR, all with unusual put activity on those names. Once again, that information courtesy of the Trade Exchange. By the way, the futures now are up 83 points on the Dow futures, S&P futures up 9, and the Nasdaq futures up about 30 on the futures. To continue on with the watch list, some other names I will be watching tomorrow. Run, right, had that insider purchase on Run, so I'll be watching this name. I don't see much reaction on that after hours. Insider purchase, but I'll be watching RUN. Twitter will be on watch for tomorrow. Nice strong move by Twitter. Now, last week we had done a swing trade on this. We got nice money on it. So I'm watching TWTR for another possible swing trade in that one. XXII will be on watch. And like I said, PVTL looks like they had good earnings. They popped this one up, so I'll be watching PVTL. So let me add that to my list for my watch list tomorrow. So let's see if there was anything else. As far as your economic information that's coming out tomorrow for Wednesday, the 12th, you have the MBA mortgage applications. This affects home builders. We do have an inflation number coming out tomorrow. CPI will be coming out. And then we get the EIA petroleum report for tomorrow. So that'll be coming out. All right. So this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com. If you were ever curious about my service, I am running a Christmas special for you. I'll put this down in the description box. Excuse me. So if you would like to give my service a try, it's $19.95 for your first month. All right. So this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com. Have a very nice evening and good day trading for Wednesday.